friend,
Nzefan.
Unzefan. How does he say it?
Nostradamusly.
Nostradamusly. So, Nostradamusly, we did say last week, if you remember, that from the way things were going, it looked likely, most likely, almost definitely likely, that the ADC was just, just pushing the space, but they had an idea. Now it's beginning to open. Only 3, 4, 5 days ago, Dati Baba Ahmed joined the FRF. That was how it was called during the Second Republic. For those of you who probably were around when Aminu Kanu, Balarabe Musa, and the rest were there. FRF. And then days later, we saw a Benani in Adamawa, Aisha Benani, right?
That's right.
Also joined the NDC. And then the rumor started coming that it might be this week that we just entered yesterday. But then it came like a thunderbolt. Before we slept yesterday, we heard that, Peter B and Kwankwaso have left the ADC for the NDC. You may ask me, what's the difference? NDC, ADC. Well, I think the NDC is a new baby that is still growing. Nobody is coming to fight with, Seriake Dixon and his
The
group.
fight has started, though.
Really? Anyway, but that's the deal. Nigeria looks different, very different from what we hear elsewhere in the world. But maybe that is why it is Nigerian politics. Welcome. It's a fresh Monday. People in politics, and we're back here. My name is Bonnie Onubu.
My name is Ben Watu. Glad to have you join this morning. These are the stories on our menu. President Tinubu yesterday wanted Nigeria for first kicks of nation diplomatic tour. Atiku Abubakar would debate insecurity, economic on the table. Part of the things he would be discussing with some persons in the United States. Well, like you heard, Peter Obi, Rabio Kwankwaso have left the ADC for the NDC. And yesterday they registered with their new political party, receiving their membership cards. Reactions have trailed that move with APC and, of course, the presidency criticizing Obi. ADC releases timetable, sets nomination fees, just like Labour Party over the weekend unveiled 2026 primary election timetable, fixes nomination fees ahead of January elections. We'll come to Abia, where the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter, has reviewed a statement to the Abia State government ongoing strike. Nigerians register as federal government plans for voluntary repatriation flights from South Africa. Apart from these, we would also be hosting Dr. Tokiwe, a former executive chairman of Hafia local government area and former APC governorship aspirant on the program. The perceives are. Do well to join us. Talk is the time. All these are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Magic FM NG. If you prefer YouTube, our YouTube channel is Magic FM. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's get your reactions on those platforms. At the right time, we'll get to read them.
All right, Platinum. Yesterday being Sunday, in Nigeria for France, commencing a three-nation state visit. The presidential off from the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, marking the start of a diplomatic tour aimed at strengthening economic partnerships and attracting foreign investment. According to the presidency, Tinubu's first stop in France, of which he would travel to Nairobi, participate in the Africa-France summit scheduled for May 11 to May 12. The summit, co-chaired by French President Emmanuel Macron and Kenyan President William Ruto, would focus on key issues including energy transition, climate action, digital transformation, and cooperation. The president is also expected to engage with global leaders and investors during the summit as part of efforts to deepen international economic ties. From Kenya, who would proceed to Kigali, Rwanda, for the Africa CEO Forum holding from May 14 to May 15.
Okay,
Wow, it's a long stretch.
well, there you have it. Three nations trip. But again, the first point of call is France. Yeah. So,
Anyway, commentators, they have a way of thinking of stuff. Um, the withdrawals of the three major, West African countries in Africa, called the Sahel brothers now.
that's right.
Let's just call them that way.
Mali,
And
Burkina
then the
Faso.
recent attack on Mali by the Tuaregs, allegedly sponsored by France and all that, it's like France is trying to, have friends even in Anglophone countries and all that. But for our president, it's not new that France is a second home to him. Some say he goes there for medical checkups. Some say he goes there for this and that. But I think we have to take it from the horse's mouth, and that is what the presidency said. The only thing I would say here is that, fine and good. The vice president is on ground, so the president can as well travel as far as possible. But if you look at today, third or fourth,
Fourth.
to 15th, 16th, is a long stretch for a president not to be, on seat. Again, we've been told right from the days of Yar'Adua, a president can be,
Can rule from anywhere.
and rule. So I think that has been internalized by Nigerians. So we just have to stay with that.
Away from that, let's take a look at one of the contenders for the president seat, Atiku Abubakar. He has confirmed his planned visit to the United States. In his words, to draw international attention to Nigeria's worsening insecurity, economic hardship, and declining governance standards. During his forthcoming engagement, Atiku would speak with policy institutional stakeholders in the US. Reasons for the visit through a statement issued on Sunday by spokesperson Paul Ibe. Atiku said Nigeria was facing a full-blown internal crisis that could no longer be downplayed or politicized. The former vice president warned that Nigeria was steadily losing its ability to protect lives and property. According to him, the situation has moved beyond isolated incidents to a pattern of systemic failure with continuing overrun, livelihoods destroyed, and citizens abandoned faith. On the economy, Atiku highlighted what he described as deepening hardship, citing rising inflation, a weakened currency, and a declining purchasing power.
Well, Africa generally, started to, recolonize ourselves, giving ourselves to the Western world, if you ask me. Because, I was thinking that there should be some form of political engineering, take the sub-region, which is West Africa, at the ECOWAS level, down to the Africa Union, the AU. But we are not seeing it. Now, we have insecurity, terrorism ravaging Africa for so long. Prior to now, we've seen situations where Nigeria, alongside other countries, will go to quell such problems in other countries, even outside of Africa. But here we are in Nigeria. We know how long Boko Haram started, and then it lingered until we started having other groups, the ISWAP, Lakrawa, name them. It is now business, and the business is widening. As we speak today, we just spoke about the Tuaregs coming to Mali only last week. And I think a large portion of Mali now is being controlled them. Okay. What is ECOWAS saying? What is the Africa Union saying? And that question must continue to be on my lips because if Africa was trying to talk about this, and then at the sub-regional level, where Africa as an entity was talking about this, we may not have to first and foremost go to America or to the United Kingdom or anywhere else, or like we have the Francophone doing, they're aligning with Russia more. Do that. But this is the situation. For me, it's open colonialism. Everything we have to do, we have to now look at the West first. And this, to me, the article is trying to do, much as it's akin to what we say, where have a bad wound, use very bad medicine. These are desperate times, and I cannot think this way at all.
Well, Atiku is trying to send a message politically. This wouldn't be the first time he's embarking on such trip. At the height of the 2023 campaigns, Atiku did embark on a similar trip to the United States. Then opposition made a meal out of drug for feature of money for agency in the United States by the current president. I remember the opposition saying that the president could not visit the United States, him running into troubled waters and what have you. Also, Atiku is seizing this opportunity to picture to the West that the current man, President Tinubu, has done well. The level of security is increasing by the day. Economy is not getting any better. So he just wants to play world stage and draw attention to some of the things happening back home. Hey, if you take a look at the other side, the down of this is, so the downside of this, must we take our problems to the West? Now, beyond colonialism, this is what we call imperialism. Days after colonization ended, it appears Africa cannot implement certain policies because such policies are simply against the West. They still want us to be dependent on them for everything, and our leaders are not helping matters. Look at most of our leaders. When they make it, where do they take their money to? The West. When they make money, where do they invest their money to? The West.
Did you say make?
They make their money here and take it to the
you
West.
don't want to use a particular word.
No, to be on the safe side, let me. when they want to send their children to school, they send them to. When they have cough, who they go to? So our leaders have not really done well. That is just the truth. This gives credence to the saying that Africa is still in the race. I like to see any European country that wants to run an election, maybe for the prime minister's post or for the presidency post, and you have the contenders coming to any African country. I'm not even talking about Nigeria, coming maybe to Egypt or South Africa to hold a debate or talk to what concerns the country.
Make consultation.
Exactly. Remember in 2022, 2023, President Tinubu and his team, Nasir El-Rufai of this world, Adams Oshomole, who is now in the UK, Chatham House, I think call it, talking about our problems as if they were going to rule people in the United Kingdom. So for me, we need to start being deliberate. We need to start helping us, decolonizing ourselves. It is not easy because these guys will go to any to ensure that their interest is protected. But again, it behoves on us, and when I say us, I mean our leaders, to start asserting themselves. Because if you fail to do that, nobody will do it for you.
Well, imperialism, is more deep-rooted than just what we. You recall, go down history from Patrice Lumumba to Thomas Sankara to all African leaders to Muammar Gaddafi, all Africa, even all African leaders want to set Africa,
right,
on trade down to where we are supposed to be. The West, alleged, influenced their removal, and it's not even allegation because it's true. What is happening in Mali, for instance, today, and it's just because it came full thousands, otherwise going on. Are they not influenced by the West?
But sorry for disrupting the Boko Haram we're facing today.
Of course.
If you take a look at how those people put their arms, it boils down to the decision they took in Libya. You attacked a country that was flourishing, and you did what happened afterwards. All the weapons that country had amassed over the years, this allowed those weapons to get into the wrong hands, from Niger, Chad to Today, how many years later, we're still feeling the effect of that singular decision.
We can talk about, schools, for instance. When they have Nigerian big man, I refuse to call them leaders. I mean, and I mean it with all sense of purpose. When they can't take children to those schools abroad, they have been able to import schools into Nigeria. So you have Turkish schools, you have American schools, you have British schools, and they pay in dollars
True.
from primary to, at least the second, and then it's more like a free visit to the main universities abroad. When their children go abroad, it's either they're just living there or mature, they bring them back home to take over the political space. We see a whole lot happening. I saw a poster last week of the son of the governor of River State also wanting to go to the House of Representatives. I hope that was just a fly rather than, I don't know.
The former Senate President, SGF,
Okay.
Pius Anyim, his son is going for a State House of Assembly seat in Ebonyi
Okay.
State.
Have we not heard of my
Buhari's son is going,
half reps?
his son is current government chairman.
So it's while they are colonizing us, those they are using as stooges are also giving birth to it. You even go back into history and that slave, the slave trade. All right. Some say slave trade, and I agree. The strong men in our localities to armies that were, made eunuchs and became soldiers, and there was absolute bestiality. You and you disagree. So we had slave camps or camps from where we were shipped to, Badagry as part of Nigeria. In Ghana, you have one and all that. So the white had already understood that we can sell ourselves and we keep selling ourselves. But it's not the majority, it's a tiny minority who have used our resources, amassed so much wealth. They have, dual citizenship. They have private jets parked in both corners that you and I do not know, and they can escape. But why destroy our own country? Because in the face of all that we're seeing, given them now to why Atiku is going, I can assure you, even Atiku's children themselves are not in Nigeria. Those who are ripe enough to come into. So all in the ring is a question of it is on in Miloko. Now one Yanzu own today now. That is what the Doma man would say, my darling. Truth of the matter is, we don't have a nation yet. Until we have a nation and we begin to put, but will the white man not destroy that? There was a case of a certain military head of state in Nigeria who came with an agenda to Nigeria right. Well, whichever way it happened, I don't know, but people are still suspecting the exit shortly after he mounted the throne, even though it was an aberration, was not ordinary, but it's still left to be debated. It's a pity, but that is what we're seeing. Until even the political process is one that can be dignified, a process where even the articles of this world have not been in different teas within the last 20 years or thereabout. After Mid won the party and becoming a vice president, I mean, that is the guess or the courtesy of the political. We've seen him in different parties up to the ADC. Leaving if he doesn't win them or get through this time, it's quite likely that we might find him in another party. Too bad.
Let's talk politics now. Obi is actually the best name in the land.
So said Peter is the only contender in 2027. I don't know whether it is true or false, but Peter is not giving up because just yesterday, being Sunday, he announced his decision to quit membership of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) ahead of the 2027 general elections. A message on his X handle cited a worsening political climate, internal crisis, external interference, and growing within party structures. The 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate described Nigeria's political space as where intimidation, persistent scrutiny have become the norm. While collision, Obi stated that his exit was not due to any personal grievance with party leaders, including former Senate President David Mark or former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, both of whom he said he will continue to respect. He said he pointed to a pattern of division, legal and what he described as the infiltration of the challenges he previously encountered in the Labour Party.
Well, the former Anambra State Governor and his Kano State counterpart, Musa Kwankwaso, they formally joined the Nigeria Democratic Congress, NDC. He, who was the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, and Kwankwaso, a former presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, received the NDC membership cards from supporters. Shows them meeting with leaders of the NDC. The two leaders who defected from the African Democratic Congress, ADC, were welcomed into the party by former Bayelsa State Governor and national leader of the party, Senator Seriake Dixon. Addressing party leaders, members, and supporters, Obi called on the federal government not to transfer political crisis to the NDC. He also appealed for a free democratic federal government interference. On Kwankwaso's honest to register with the NDC as soon as possible, declaring that his camp had commenced immediately. Let's take a look at that.
Our blueprints and all what we live in, especially my humble self and His Excellency. And we realize all on the same believing in leadership, believing in empowerment of young men. Let us start building. Please, let them be done. Please don't go to court. Not lawyers. Those of us who are lawyers want to be good practitioners. What we want is that we will lock doors, we'll be warning welcome for this party. When our children will be proud of this party. This party will form government that will rescue.
Meanwhile, the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Felix, has criticized Obi following his resignation from the ADC. Moore, in a post shared on X on Sunday, described Obi as a political rolling stone, accusing him of moving between parties in search of an easy press ticket. He also alleged that Obi preferred a path to power that did not involve in party contest. The APC spokesman concluded by describing the former Anambra State governor as a political drifter.
With the way APC is sounding, one thing is obviously clear, that out of all the contests in 2027, the person they dread the most is Peter Obi. Peter Obi for leaving the air. Well, the answer is no, because there is so much uncertainty in that party. But when the Supreme Court ruled last week, many people celebrated, not realizing that what the Supreme Court simply did was to ask the parties in that case to go back to the trial court, which is the Federal High Court, meaning that the leadership tussle is still very much alive.
On a tripod.
Exactly. No, before the Supreme Court delivered its own ruling, vacating the status quo antebellum, some state chairmen, about 4 or 5 of them, including Bono Obinna, had gotten a judgment from a federal high court in Abuja saying that their tenure did not elapse before the David Mark-led leadership set up a caretaker committee. So what that means is If their tenure did not elapse and they did not participate in the National Convention of the NDC, I beg your pardon, ADC, organized by the David Mark leadership, what David Mark and his leadership did amounts to nullity. It's as simple as that. So, with NX timetable breathing down the neck of ADC faithful, with all the legal tools, with the taking advantage, sponsoring some persons in party to ensure party does not disentangle itself from the entanglement. There's no right thinking person that would not pray to be for what he did. Before now, I had said on this platform that if the ADC was not careful, it would be Zamfara. The INEC chairman repeated what we said here. In 2019, Zamfara, from the governorship position to the State House of Assembly, could not field a candidate under the APC could not field a candidate simply because they were entangled in legal issues and INEC just simply disqualified them. The same thing, from the look of things, will happen to the ADC because from the look of things, the contending parties are not agreeing. They don't seem to agree on anything. So for me, things prompted P2B to have taken the decision it took yesterday. One, the legal here and there flying in the ADC. It's only a P that you would tell you to court would not move. It would take off. That is exactly what P2B did. Then two, the Atiku factor. As we speak, Atiku has succeeded in capturing the structures of the ADC. It's just the truth. If an Atiku and the PB were to go into a contest for the presidential ticket of the ADC, Atiku would beat Obi.
And then would they win the election?
That is it. Because at the end of the day, the feelings in the country do not favor him. As we speak, majority of Nigerians believe it is the turn of the South to complete 8 years. Having had a Fulani person of late Muhammadu Buhari from the North, who did an 8-year two-term or two-term of 4 years. So would Nigerians throw away that arrangement agreement to vote a northerner in 2027? It's as good as mine. So numbers do lie. If you take a look at the number of registered for the ADC in the north, they far outweigh or outnumber those who did in the and even the east. So I'm sure Obi took a look at all these before arriving at that decision yesterday. And you heard the man say, please, no court case in DC. We are not lawyers, we are politicians. Let's politic. The lawyers do their thing. He said it yesterday.
Well, Ben, I think there's a TV right in front of us right now, and we're seeing some big wigs in Nigerian politics standing behind, Seriake, Kwankwaso, and Peter. We have even Marafa there. We have Victor B.
Ume.
Victor Ume.
That's right.
We have even Aisha Binadi. I'm sure a lot of people remember Senator Marafa. He's right there right now as we're speaking, among other persons. The die is cast. But again, it's where you have that water will, flow. Why did Moka bring out Obi? I can say that in the wake of membership of the ADC, Kwankwaso's own so far is the most.
That's right.
Most short-lived. From PC to NNP, okay, less than 4 years, here you are in ADC, and within a week or two, you are in NDC. Why didn't they mention Kwankwaso, for instance? Well, analyzing articles intended visit to the US, we did say that all the parties, at least the major parties, and if taken, and if not that, he has told Nigerians that this attempting he find himself in another party. Says with everything in the ADC that Atiku himself may not even be in another party apart from, you know.
I foresee him leaving.
So why labeling P2B political rolling stone, a drifter, and all that? You can't mention him. But beyond politics, there is also what we look as the soft edge. Obi appears to be this one. I read the full text of what he wrote, uh, and he said that he's not weak. I mean, that's the interpretation I'll put. He's not weak. The fact that he's gentle, the fact that he wants things to be done in very civil manner, does not mean he's weak. And indeed, no weak person would do what P2B is doing. This is one man that, in 24 hours is in any place on the almost every day. He's well connected in the sense that before we knew it, he's been able to convince, Kwankwaso. Don't forget also that before Kwankwaso left the NNPP, that he went to Kano and was well received by the Kwankwasia and more. So I don't know why, in French they say, that's French.
That is French.
That is French. Anyway, I think it's interesting, really, the way things are going. But I'm also figuring a situation where we can have fewer parties. I'm figuring a situation where we won't have all these, crises in parties. I'm figuring a situation where, participants will, politics, will not say, "Nah, me by force," to the extent that, if this party is not working. I mean, some people will even say, "Hey, you have to stay where your interest is served." Why is it your interest? Who says if you do not win this time, you may not win the next time? If you put your house in order, if you are formidable enough and you reach out to the people, convince them that the institutions of law, from agencies to the law courts, can do their jobs. We'll have credible election. Of course, INEC being the umpire. If we have these three institutions working with the fear of God, our elections will be credible. But where there's an election, while the election is going, some security agents have been propelled to ensure that it doesn't work well. Political talks, light will go against the rules, and they'll be seeing and pictures and nothing happened.
With security backing.
Even the council elections in Abuja not long ago, we saw what happened. Ended. Because they came from, the quarters where there's a lot of power, nothing happened to them. And after that, when INEC itself says, unless this has to happen, this happened. I'll give you an example. We covered in Anambra. That was when, IP has alleged then, this say that the election it held, and some of us that went had a heart in our throats. But the INEC did say at that time that the problem anywhere whatsoever, such a will be carried, not a question of going to court. And indeed, that was what happened. That was what happened. Those elections in Onitsha South, for instance, and elsewhere where there were skirmishes, they were cancelled outright. There was no question of let's investigate. And for the second time, he has gone. Soludo has come. First term is running his second term now. Can we have a situation where that will be that strong on ground and say this is what I want and that is what will happen? Well, we keep talking and by the work towards it as a people, not we as me and Ben, because our own working towards it is doing what we're doing, right? So this time, let's take a break. When we return, we'll take a few more stories like the unveiling of a detailed 2026 primary election timetable by the Labour Party and others. Don't forget also that we have the Abia Progressives coming up at 10 o'clock. And today, as you may have heard, we'll be having a former executive chairman for Hafia local government and former AP governorship aspirant in the person of Dr.
Okorafo.
Okorafo Ukiwe. All right. So stay with us.
Yeah, so this is Jolly Johnny on the streets. How well do you know Maggi chicken flavor? Oh yeah, spell celery.
Celery. Celery.
Bros, you want to turn to salary? Okay. Spell turmeric.
Turmeric.
So
Turmeric.
correct. What kind of Maggi chicken for you? Maggi chicken flavor with onions, celery, and turmeric. My game changer.
How many times have you heard, we'll get back to you this year? Too many, right? But what if your breakthrough isn't someday, but right now? If you're serious about your career, come closer to radio. Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program NJFP 2.0, flagship initiative of the federal government of Nigeria in partnership with the United Nations Development Program and supported by the European Union, is young Nigerian graduates real work opportunities. We're placing talent 12-month fully paid fellowships.
The Niger NJF.0 is here. Applications are open. 3,000 received. 8,000 fellows already placed. Don't miss out. Visit www.njf.ng and apply to the NJFP 2.0. Connect Nigeria's talent with meaningful career opportunities.
I found something inside my new original pack the other day. A unique code printed inside.
Yes, so every pack of Nescafe Oreo 3-in-1 now comes with a code inside in the Nescafe Next Level promo. Text the code to *7022# and you could win 500,000 naira cash, business tools, and training. Up to 1 million naira in prizes to be won. Runs until June 30th, 2026. T's and C's apply. Nescafe. Make your world.
Hey, Mama, you don't try, see as my kitchen clean. Mama, but you no use hypo.
Yes, so germs dey para. No be the kitchen every day with hypo.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Ow, but how?
Is it?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yeah.
3-in-1, milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I want milk.
I love it, me.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. Hey, yeah, now Rabi, with your Rabi, but it's strong, my multi fresh. It clean well, now Oral-B. Strong Oral-B, fresh, spread Oral-B, 24/7 Oral-B. Strong Oral-B.
Yes, so get your own Oral-B 130 grams pack now for 1,500 naira. Now Nigerian Dental Association self deal with Oral-B.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
All right, you're welcome. Still talking the ADC. The African Democratic Congress has released its timetable for the 2026 primary election, outlining key dates for the sale of nomination forms, screening of aspirants, primaries, and a special national convention. Statement yesterday, the party's National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, said the timetable reflected ADC's commitment to internal democracy, orderliness, and strict compliance with electoral guidelines. According to the schedule, the sale of nomination forms would run from May 5 to May 10, 2026, while submission of completed forms is fixed for May 11 to May 13. Screening of aspirants is set for May 14 to 15. Screening results to be published on May 17. Appeals will be heard between May 18 and May 19, while the final list of cleared aspirants will be released on May 20. It added that this will be followed by a meeting of the National Executive Committee on May 26 and a special national convention on May 27, where final ratifications will be made. The party also announced a structured fee regime for nomination positions. For the presidential nomination form, Interested persons are expected to come out 100 million naira. Governorship, 50 million naira. Senate, 20 million naira. House of Representatives, 10 million naira. And State House of Assembly, 3 million naira. So there you have it. The party said to promote inclusivity, a 50% discount has been made for youths and a 25% discount for women and those with disabilities.
So you heard it, millions. So for the, I think APC was 100
That's
million
right.
for
APC 100 as well.
Wow. Well, that was the ADC there. The Labour Party also actually released its comprehensive timetable, schedule of activities and nomination fees for the conduct of the pre-elections, setting the stage for what it is expected to be a high build-up to the next general elections. In a press statement signed by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Ken Eluma Asogwa, the party said the show was carefully designed to in line with the provisions of the Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, 26, the guidance issued by the Independent National Electoral Commission. According to the party, the timetable outlines a time-bound process that will govern the emergence of its candidates, all elective positions. The sale of nomination forms is scheduled to commence on May 6th, that is in 2 days' time, and will run through May 16, 2026, giving interested aspirants a 10-day window to obtain the necessary documents. Submission of complete forms will follow immediately, beginning from May 17 and ending on May 18, 2026. Screening exercises for aspirants are slated for May 2026, covering House of Assembly hopefuls, while those vying for National Assembly and presidential tickets will be screened on May 22, 2026. The party will publish screening results on May 23. For aspirants to the outcome, appeal processes have been scheduled for May 24 and 25, depending on the category office, with a final list of claims to be released on May 26, 2026. The primaries themselves will take place shortly after, with House of Assembly and governorship primaries fixed for May 27, while national and presidential primaries will hold on May 29. Alongside the timetable, the Labour Party also announced a structured fee regime for nomination forms across all elective offices. Aspirants for state houses of assembly are expected to a total of 3 million naira, while those contesting for the House of Representatives will pay 5 million. Several aspirants will pay 10 million naira. Governorship aspirants are to pay 25 million, while the presidential nomination fees stand at 50 million naira. However, the party disclosed that Alex Oti presented with his nomination free of charge by the National Working Committee.
Okay.
You want to ask why?
He's the national leader of the party.
Now, is that okay? The man get money now.
Are you talking?
Oh, well, anyway, but that's what the party says, and I think they have the prerogative as their right, maybe a privilege to the governor on that score. That's the story coming out.
I think that's just their way of saying thank you. Alex Oti had every reason to have left the Labour Party because of the crisis that befell the party, but he stuck with the party. And let's not forget that almost 80% of the NWC today are his loyalists. He played a role in ensuring that they are occupying the position that they are occupying today. So I'm not surprised with the decision of the NWC to ensure that he gets the ticket free of charge.
Ben, I thought you were going to say, but I'm always thinking of what you will say. I don't know why. What it means is that no other person will purchase
in India.
I know now.
Okay.
Yeah, now you're thinking what I'm thinking. That's what I always ask you. You know, what it means that in Abia, nobody else will spend his, how many millions? Is it
50 million.
50 million to just don't bother yourself. It's been concluded, isn't it?
Okay, the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Abia State chapter, has reacted to the statement by the Abia State government on the ongoing strike by the union. Jusin said after carefully in the briefing by the Director General of Strategic Communication, Onyebuchi Manka, and the governor's spokesperson, Ferdinand Ekoma, regarding the communique of the Niger Association, NBA body of chairmen, and the ongoing industrial action by the union. It acknowledged that indeed they are engaging with the government. However, there are some misleading impressions, like the claim that the NBA communique was outdated. Jusin was of the view that that position was inaccurate, misleading, as concerns raised by the NBA not dependent on the timing of meetings and obligations that remained unfulfilled. The Judiciary Union said the oil negotiations did not amount to resolution of the disputes. They talked about judicial autonomy, compliance with extant agreements, leave allowance, verification and pension matters, amongst others. Signed by Jusin Abia State Chairman Chinedu Eze and the State Secretary Chibueze Mwachuku, the body said until agreements were formally concluded, properly documented and fully implemented, it was premature and misleading to suggest that the issues leading to the strike have been substantially resolved.
All right, so that's it. It is a lingering issue. Indeed, just last week you had the Director General,
That's right, Strategic Commissions.
and of course the essay to the governor of media. They did react. And we did ask us that we spoke on the angle of government at the time. Yes.
Well, we did place a call to the NB man here.
We mentioned
that's
too.
right.
Now we also that will get the other end, which has come now, courtesy of our correspondent here, Godwin Ike. Before our last story this morning, that Governor Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State is likely to leave another party. It has not been clearly revealed yet, but what is going to happen this week? Of Bala Mohammed had been a floating politician for some time, but now has a party. It's one of the not very known parties.
APM.
Which means
like they have cassava, agbado. Okay, agbado is not cassava.
No.
Agbado is maize. Okay, these ones they have cassava.
Yeah. All right, last cut this morning, and I think we may not want to paint the story or the pictures we're seeing from South Africa. So, a country has been speaking tongue in cheek. Nigerians in that last week, and just about the end of last week too, the foreign ministry in Abuja was inviting the South African High Commissioner to a meeting, in the boardroom or whatever. But while they're speaking, the government at home in South Africa not to be doing anything, or encouraging what non-state actors are doing. It won't be true for the truth if we tell you that Ramaphosa is solidly behind what is happening. Citizens cannot be too strong or stronger than the government of any country. Now let's look at this. The federal government has commenced arrangements to evacuate its citizens, that is Nigerian citizens, from South Africa, with at least 130 individuals already registered for voluntary repatriation amid rising anti-foreigner tensions in the country. The development followed renewed protests and incidents of xenophobic rhetoric, particularly in Pretoria and Johannesburg, where demonstrators have blamed on migrants for economic hardship, unemployment, and insecurity. In a statement shared on her X handle Sunday, Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bianca, I think, the minister has run for governorship, right?
She has been voted.
Yeah, so, okay, really?
Yes.
Wow, honestly, I think I'm behind shadow. Sorry for yourself. All right, so in a statement on her X handle on Sunday, Nigeria Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegwu Ojukwu, noted that the safety of Nigerians abroad remains the government's top priority. According to her, the president has reiterated that the priority of it at this time remains the safety of our citizens. Currently, arrangements are currently underway to collate details of Nigerians in South Africa for voluntary repatriation flights for those seeking assurance assistance to return home. And according to her, so far, 30 applicants have duly registered. Well, a certain young woman of Igbo extraction did cry out on Facebook yesterday, and it was the effect that most of them really want to come home but do not have the means to. I want to believe the government was thinking in that direction too. That is one. Two, I thought by now there would have been a thorough, discussion between President Tinubu and President Ramaphosa of South Africa. I've not read any of this has happened apart from agencies of government like the ministry, and then of course, the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, because of Deputy the chairman, are talking. Now, there's a video of two women who were stripped of birthday suits, being beaten away. What I cannot say is whether the women are Nigerians or Zimbabwe, because all black Africans in South Africa who are not South Africans are. One of them, from the report, died in the process. The other one, had his face, blown to a pulp that you cannot even recognize her. Don't forget also that South African women married to Nigerians in particular are also being targeted now because they say if they are married to Nigerians, which they are not against, and this is coming women, by the way, they should follow their husbands to Nigeria. That Nigeria cannot continue to marry them on their soil. That's how terrible this thing is going. They've been to schools, they've been to hospitals, been marked, and everywhere. They've been to neighborhoods. There's nowhere that's left, and it's widespread. That in some parts of South Africa, like Johannesburg and Pretoria, I say no. It's everywhere. It's a calculated, orchestrated, xenophobic attack against immigrants in South Africa, with emphasis on Nigeria and Nigerians. Okay, our high commissioner in South Africa, only last week, the acting high commissioner there did say that Nigeria should not worry too much, in spite of all that we were seeing. That nothing really was happening. We shouldn't take it away. But he was speaking. The government of Nigeria was saying NICOM,
That's right.
and even the federal government,
That's right.
they were saying that Nigeria should be cautious. That what they're saying was, not light at all, And I asked question: such an acting high, if his statement got to government should invite him home and query him. What have been the actions he has taken since this thing started? All right. What has been his interaction with the High Commissioner to South Africa and Nigeria? So when you juxtapose all of these, you realize that I don't know. Again, I go to the African Union. Where is that unity in Africa? Where is that unity, Africa? Do we need to keep recycling stories of how Nigeria helped South Africa? Yes, we can. No time for now, because not many of our young people, not even many young South Africans, know what happened in the apartheid era, how much Nigeria did for their country, how much Nigeria did for even Nelson Mandela, how much Nigeria did for the ruling party in South Africa, the African National Congress, ANC. When you might mention the Steve Bikos of this world, you mention the Oliver Tambos, the Bishop Desmond Tutus, you can continue to name them. Nigeria was a strong pillar behind South Africa. We do not deserve seen, and no African, for whatever reason, should be dealt the way we're seeing it in South Africa. Well, this is the end this part of the show this morning. Don't forget that in the next 2 or 3 minutes, we'll be joined by Dr. Orafor Okie, a former executive chairman of Ohafia local government and former APC governorship aspirant. Is on Abia Progressive. So stay with us, and then we'll give you a link to him and find out what he has to unfold. Stay with us.
Yes, so this is Jolly Johnny on the streets. How well do you know Maggi chicken flavor? Spell celery.
SELARIE. Celery.
Bros, you want turn am to salary? Okay, spell turmeric.
TURMERIC.
Yes, so
Turmeric.
correct. 1 carton of Maggi chicken flavor for you. Maggi chicken flavor with onions and turmeric. My game changer.
How many times have you heard, we'll get back to you this year? Too many. What if your breakthrough someday, but right now? If you're serious about your career, come close to your radio. The Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program, NGFP, the flagship initiative of the federal government of Nigeria in partnership with the United States Development, supported by the European Union, is connecting young Nigerian graduates to real work opportunities. We're placing talented graduates in 12-month fully paid fellowships.
Rise up, Nigeria. NJFP 2.0 is here. Applications are open. Over 300,000 seed. 8,000 fellows already placed. Don't miss out. To www.njfp.ng and apply today. NJFP 2.0. Connecting Nigeria's talent with meaningful career opportunities.
Is it okay to make fun about TikTok? Let's have it. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Up covers. And now with your help, brush with Colgate. Zero cavity and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste, not to do younger with your brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, what's
It's milky.
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milk and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. No energy to go further.
Milo.
For you, every day is day one. Day one for you to give 100. 100 on the tracks, on the road, at work. Because it's your job to give your all. 100 with the gang. And on the dance floor. Truth is, you aren't wired to give less. Your future is now. So live it real, loud, full and free. Use it what empty.
Nation, we have now decided to go beyond the genius of night into open day of renewed national hope.
Abia, a time for progress, a time to elect on leadership, a time to highlight results, a time to strengthen the vision of renewed hope.
President who loves the people of the Southeast.
From Abuja to Abia, the sheer transformation continues under the lead of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a government focused on reform, growth, and national development.
We are very clear with the Nigerian people who it will come for temporarily, but the long term we are promising they to also involve intervention mechanisms that achieve the people on the go.
Now, there is a platform to discuss it all. Welcome to a bold political program mobilizing support for the Progressive Congress, casing achievements and engaging the people.
The numbers, the indices, and the star are favorable to the economic reduced. Our foreign reserves increased substantially. Our net import dependence went down. Our export production capacity has gone up. Our naira is strengthened. We have provided opportunities for families who could not afford to send their kids to school to access grant and go and have
policy, progress, politics, the future of Abia State. Sunday, 10 a.m. only. Jig FM, Aba. Abia Progressives are the voice of leadership, the sound of progress.
As you may have heard earlier, indeed, we have Dr. Okorafor Kiwe, former executive chairman of your local government and former APC governorship aspirant here in Abia State. He's with us today virtually on Abia Progressives. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Yes, I think what we're up to as the cock crows day in Nigeria today is politics. Ahead 2027. You see in the thick of it, if nothing else, in Abia, and of late, the issue of zoning came up, and I don't know whether it's brewing blood in the party. What do you have to say on it?
Oh, thank you so much for that question. As a leading party in the country, a lot of people have interest in becoming members of APC, and of course, in the process, a lot of people aspire to, compete for different offices, and aspire, of course, they have a lot of interest. And we have noticed that in the party, quite a number of people are aspiring for very, different positions in Abia State and at the federal level. Had a lot of issues back and forth and all that. So the party at the state level, a bit to, kind of try to resolve the problems or reduce the announced plan. Either they're not really known to aspirants. And of course, that led to a lot of uproar. But through the wisdom of the international level, and that arrangement jettisons, we're back to status quo. Every member of the party is at liberty to fulfill his or her constitutional right by contesting for positions with for the state and at national,
yeah. Okay, we may not want to be about this really, but how? Because a lot of people expressed shock, and I know that some guys analyzed the path over time, from zones, and these people, other people, same zone, other zones, participated in the process. Some said, zoning has never really been a thing with the APC. Which of these can we take?
Yeah, true. The truth is that zoning has not really been a pattern in APC, especially in other states. As I said earlier, when a lot of people testing, I think there was the conflict of interest. And I think a few people at the leadership level, given the power to lead us as a state, they consider it necessary to whittle down the number of people contesting. So by considering zoning, when you zone it, automatically whittle down the number of persons contesting for some kind of position. I think that was what they thought was wise to do at that moment. And the announcement.
I think, yes, Doctor, you think it has nothing to do with the two Kalus in Abia North, incidentally, both from the local government?
I wouldn't think it's because of the challenge, because, Abia, so I wouldn't think the party will want to undo, Abia. But I'm thinking they were looking at a different direction, and of course, maybe from your own thought process, also retention in Abia North. But those of us that are from outside know it shouldn't be that we have to start with people that have the capacity, the ability to contest. Because contest is not just showing yourself. There must be an ability to win that position. So you're not just going there for a beauty or a pageant show. You're going there for a very serious, which is that of leadership. So we must, as a party, set our best foot forward. And I think that's why a lot of us. And in the wisdom of the party at the national level, this position was brought back to normal.
Okay, talking about the governorship contest in your party, the APC, we understand that some AP stakeholders have actually come there and they are wooing the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, to run for governorship seat. They've gone as far as putting a form for him. Can you speak on that? Did such a thing happen? We have some people saying no, that it's an arranged thing, saying that maybe somebody was playing the music they were dancing to.
That's not true at all. Not just in Abia State, in different states, you see stakeholders, people that have interests coming together to make nomination forms for persons they believe will be able to do the job. It happened in Lagos State. It has even happened with the presidency. A lot of stakeholders, people that came together, purchased the form for the president. So, you know, when people see you as able candidates and they believe you're able to, you know, lead the fight, they have interest. They want to become their governor, their senator. They might together and they purchase nomination forms. Even with the government in power in Abia State, people have generated money, people have promised to buy forms and things like that. It's a political, so yeah, it is true. Stakeholders, serious and senior members of the party APC, a lot of them came together and ensured they purchased that nomination form to go and woo Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, CFR, the Deputy Speaker, to come and do this battle for us, because Abia State we've suffered a lot. Yeah, I know people make noise on social media. There's a need for a change in government, and that is why even aspirants like us, I was aspiring to become belt, and I still feel I have the cap. But in every battle, you know, when you look at it, you know, you come to the conclusion, okay, this person might be able to do it better. It's like a football team. The coach may have 2 or 3 persons that are suited for a position, but definitely he has to make it that one person is best suited for that position. So in our own belief, and of course, it has expressly confirmed that Benjamin Okezie Kalu is the best aspirant, the best person to be candidate of APC. And that's why not just stakeholders, a lot of different local governments have been chanting, been calling him, writing to him, asking him to come back home and, you know, save our state from what is actually happening now, what I usually call a mediocre kind of governance. It is for us to give people very serious leadership, as already shown, you know, by the national, by making sure that, of course, all the states in Nigeria is surviving. Yes, it's true. We want Benjamin Okezie Kalu to come and do this battle, rescue Abia, and take over government house at the date in 2027.
All right. You know, there's this talk amongst political, you know, analysts. They say that Benjamin Kalu, and this is his first entry at the national level, and he has commanded a lot of influence and so much. So they figured, what if he reigned at the national level for now, then possibly come back with age on his side? So there's a divide among commentators in this regard. But it appears they have some, you know, logic there. This is a young man doing so much as the number 6 man, and if he should stick to the center for now, based on what he has done, could favor, you know, the state, not just the zone, and then maybe look at the governorship later. Do you buy that?
No, I don't buy that at all. You know, in my place, you say, your house can't be on fire chasing rats. No, Benjamin has a big mandate in Abia. As you have just said, people have discovered he's an excellent performer. At the national level, he has done so well representing the people of Bendefla constituency. And of course, it's the pride of Abia people. That's why we call him Eni Abia. And recognize that this man is so outstanding. He's been able to perform over 105, you know, bills. He has done so much, you know, raising bills and passing bills and representing the people. Go to Bendefla constituency projects, littered all over the place. Of course, he's not the only legislator in Abia State, but he's the most performing, very outstanding. And of course, you've attested to that fact That is a very good leader. And you see, before now, my party, APC, we had crisis. We had factions. We had different groups. And of course, the number was so poor. In fact, at the national level, the Abia APC was nothing because we had just about 3,000 plus membership in the party. But with the leadership of Benjamin Carlo, he brought people together, all the other leaders. He brought us and made sure we resolved our differences and determined to raise our membership. Today, we boast of over 160,000 members for APC alone in Abia State. And for us, it's a huge achievement. People are different, in different states. They are shocked. They never believe that Abia is that number of persons. And I keep reminding people, look, when some people say this is fictitious, I say no. Every registration is enabled through your NIN. The portal we were working with does not allow you to register any person without the legit NIN. That means every single person in that number, 160,000 plus, are legitimate members of APC. And for us, it's a huge bonus. And the man that made this possible through his people management skills, you need to give him that, aid. We see that he's able to bring people together, talk to people, resolve issues, reconcile people, and of course, he has the war chest, the ability to be able to put processes on the ground. He's a very, very, dynamic person. And when you talk about age, I don't think he's too young, because I'm sure our governor was in his 30s. I think Governor Zukawa was in his 30s when he was the governor of I think age is really on the side of Honorable Benjamin Okezekala. I believe not the time. This is the best time for him to give a shot up. No, if he gives it a shot, he's going to clinch that position. So he's not just contesting, he's contesting to, some people just go into the fray to show face. But Ben, by the grace will be contesting to win, because that is the mandate, that is the decision, and that is the request of members of this party, APC. And, by God's grace, by the time we'll be talking after the election 27, I'll tell you I told you.
Okay, let's talk about the readiness of your party, the APC, to clinch the governorship position as well as other positions during the forthcoming general elections. How ready is your party ahead of the elections?
Yes, and to add to it, let's add flesh to it. The APC started literally, north of that is Abia North. Then cascading down, we have a bit of Umunochi in it now. But if you look at Abia Central and Abia South, if not that of late, there has been entry. APC was not widespread in Abia, your readiness. How could you now, in 2027, make strong inroads into Central and South? Yes.
I'm happy you raised this question, because I'm going to break everything down. Yes, before now it was just Abia North. Now what happened? I told you initially when I was talking, I told you someone came into leadership position. I was able to prove to other people that, look, APC is a party. The progressive is the place to be with. Abia needs to join other states to go to the center. He was able to woo other members of APC that were there, but probably in hibernating form, leadership skill, and encourage these people to become part and of APC in Abia Central South. If you watch, a lot of people have been decamping from PDP rather than going to Labour Party, where people naturally would think the campees will go to. What do you find? Rather go to APC. They come to APC because they've seen the light there. And that's why you have a lot of the old and experienced politicians with very large win in Abia Central, in Abia South, are now in APC. And if I should tell you this, the current governor, of course, knows he benefited from the services, the support of some of these people that have moved over to APC when PP included. PP lost the last election because of some differences, things that happened in the party there, internal problems, made a lot of party members work for this present governor. And of course, he knows that fact. But think of these people that had the machinery, that had the followership, that had the people factor, the human factor to enable any candidate win election in Abia State. Almost 80% of them are currently in APC. And these people know how to win election. They know how to talk to the grassroots. They know how to mobilize the grassroots. They know how to incentivize the grassroots. So they are serious people we have in our kitty today as APC. And a lot of them are contesting election. If you go to Abia Center, of course, we have more than 4 in the parties, very strong people politically contesting for the positions of House of Representatives and of course in the Senate. There are quite a number of them. If you go to Abia South, you have also the same problem. There are a lot of challenges, as to who is going to win the ticket in APC. But because our party understands how to manage people and how to resolve conflicts, the can't rank off free. Because we are going to shock people, because people believe APC is going to have problem and their membership. So nothing like that is going to happen, because we are going to have very transparent primaries, either consensus or a direct primary. At the end of the day, AP will be stronger and be better part to the next coming election. So we are well prepared. AP is very ready to win elections. All the local governments will have very strong leadership. Our last Congress ensured that with people that are very capable to lead the party at the ward level, at the local government level, and of course our states will have a very formidable leadership at the state level, led by Honorable Chuk. We are very proud of our people, and they are making an adequate plan. Of course, our members are excited. They are very happy. You can imagine a member that is in opposition is very proud to talk about his party, because we have seen what the party has been able to do for the subnational. Today, you have the found singing songs of non-payment of salary, pensioners not being owed, and a lot of posts coming, to their state. We ask them the question: who has made this possible? The only person that has made it possible is the president and commander-in-chief, Armed Forces, Aju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is the one that has been able to devolve powers to the subnationals and the government system. Of government, so that the governors now have sufficient amount of money to be able to fulfill the electoral promises they made to their people. They are all smiling to the bank. And would that surprise you? We have about 31, 32 in APC, because a lot of those governors are very thankful and are able to point to the fact that the man at the center made this possible, because he had options. He would have said, okay, let me use this money and put it into other projects rather than giving it to subnationals to share. And that is why is thankful, and they are all drifting to the center. And we believe Abia shouldn't be seen an ungrateful state. We must come out clearly to say, Mr. President, we are very grateful for what you've done. We want you to do more by giving you another 4 more years for you to continue. And of course, to redeem what we have in Abia State today, to show our government house goes to APC, so that we can join the progressives and give Abia State a better part of the queue.
Okay, talking about the Abia State Government House, I want to believe you've been following conversations from state government officials. Now, there is this narrative being pushed out there that Benjamin Kalu, the Deputy Speaker, is uncertain about what step to take as 27 elections are concerned. He's been accused of buying 2 forms, or people getting him 2 forms, one for the representatives and one for the governorship position. Can you confirm if that's the situation?
Yeah, I can confirm to you that the Abia State government is jittery. Support of this government is jittery. I normally tell people, anytime Benjamin Kalu sneezes, the government catches cold. You see their response, their knee-jerk reactions is so obvious. So they think is wrong, something's not adding up for them. I would have thought a government that is very comfortable will even talk less about an opponent. If you say your win is in the bag, just the way the governor will want to say occasionally, I would have, been thinking, they will not even bother about Benjamin Kalu. So we think that the man bought 2 forms. If he doesn't get this one, he gets this one. No, as an insider, I can confirm to you that Benjamin Okezekalo, in a few days to come, is going to speak to Nadia. He's going to say what he needs to say. Usually when he says things, of course, you know what happens in social media, popular, media houses. So Benjamin Okezekalo, I believe, will be speaking to his people to come. And of course, a lot of Abians will rejoice. They will rejoice. But Benjamin Okezekalo, to my knowledge, from what we have seen and from the effort we have made, because I believe is someone that leads to the leadership of the party. The party to him, look, we want you in Abia State. Our governor, you need to come and do the job for Abia people, because it's clear, everybody says he's an excellent legislator, he's very, very well, and everybody's proud of him. So we want him to come and replicate his knowledge of leadership in Abia Government House. So at the end of the day, I promise you 2027, that government house will be taken over by APC governor.
Okay, for those who just joined us, this is the Progressives are on Magic. Of course, we're streaming live. We are also, this is a simulcast on another radio station in Obaya. For now, we'll take a break. Do not forget that we have a former APC governorship aspirant and a former executive chairman of half your local government area, Dr. Okorafo Okiwe, as guest this morning. We'll be right back.
Yo, Jolly Johnny on the streets. How well do you know Maggi chicken flavor? Oh yeah, spell celery. S-E-A-R-I-E. Celery. Bros, you want to know salary? Okay. Now, turmeric.
Turmeric.
Yes, so.
Turmeric.
Correct. 1 carton of Maggi chicken flavor for you. Maggi flavor with onions, celery, and turmeric. My game changer.
How many times have you heard, we'll get back to you this year? Too many, right? But what if your breakthrough isn't someday but right now? If you're serious about your career, come closer to your radio. The Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program, NJFP 2.0, a flagship initiative of the government of Nigeria in partnership with the United Development Program and supported by the European Union, is connecting young Nigerian graduates to real work opportunities. We're placing talented graduates in 12-month fully paid.
Rise up, Nigeria. NJFP 2.0 is here. Applications are up. Over 300 received. 8,000 fellows already placed. Don't miss out. Visit www.nj.g and apply today. NJFP 2.0 connects talent meaningful opportunities.
You don't ready to win? Make you enjoy your food with code Coca-Cola and you fit win your share from 600 million naira. Now 2 millionaires we're going to make every day, plus over 50 million naira for weekly prizes. Just buy any Coke, Fanta, Sprite, or Schweppes. We get glass or plastic bottle. Scan the QR code for the cover of the glass bottle or label of the plastic one. Then check the code where they under the cover for your chance to become millionaire and win bet prizes. Buy, scan, find, win. This and C's apply.
Mama, if you see how they scrub that toilet, it clean. If it look clean, but if use Hypo toilet cleaner, germs go still young.
Agree for germs. Protect your toilets every day with Hypo toilet cleaner.
With Dara, it's glow, she stays strong and serene.
For any, for balance, for you, I am a Daravit woman.
Hey, yeah, now Rabi, with Rabi, but it's strong, my mouth fresh. Keep clean, well, now Rabi. Strong it Rabi, red Rabi, 24/7 with Rabi. Strong it Rabi.
Yes, so get your order B 130 grams pack now for 1,500 naira. Now Nigerian Dental Association deal with order B.
As a nation, we have long ago decided to march beyond the dimness of night into open day of renewed national hope.
Abia, The time for progress is now. A time to reflect on leadership. A time to highlight results. A time to strengthen the vision of renewed hope.
President Tinubu is a man who loves people of the Southeast.
From Abuja to Abia, the story of transformation continues under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, a government focused on reform, growth, and national development.
We were very clear with the general people when the decision was made. It will bring discomfort temporarily, but the long term is what we are promising. We need to also involve intervention mechanism in dealing with some of the hardship that the people undergo.
Now, there is a platform to discuss it all. Welcome to Abia Progressive, a bold political program mobilizing support for the All Progress Congress, showcasing and engaging the people.
The numbers, the indices, and the stats are favorable to the economic reform that we have introduced. Our foreign reserve has increased substantially. Our net import dependency went down. Our export production capacity has gone up. Our naira is strengthened. We have provided opportunities for families who do not afford to send their kids to school to access grant and co-education.
Policy, progress, politics, the future of Abia States. Every Monday, 10 a.m. only on Mark FM. Abia Progress, the voice of leadership, the sound of progress.
Right, Dr. Okorafor Okewe, former executive chairman of Ohafia Local and former APC government aspirant. Obviously, Doctor, what are you aspiring for this time? You as a person now.
After my take over government house, so our leader, the deputy speaker. So let's get there first. We now know what it goes.
Then there can be job for the boys as usual now, maybe.
Job for Abians.
Okay, yes. Know that the atmosphere is, dated with political talks and all that, opposition and all that, tourism or otherwise. Nobody knows, but the truth lies with or the owners of truth, and the burden of it lies with he who says A or B. And so we hear obligation of the uncovering of an alleged looting of over R1 billion in public funds in Abia. And it's like you want to say something about that.
Well, we had such an event has happened, and auditors were able to discover that, as we normally say, the leadership is weak, is translucent, not transparent, not telling Abians the truth. And we've been shouting the wilderness. Look, what we get in Abia State is shocking. In particular, I'd like to use this peer review mechanism to be able to analyze, assess any performance in office. So I wouldn't be talking about past people, past governors, what did they do, what did they not do. I am looking at current governors, your peers, people that were at the same time with you, people that are receiving the allocation than you do with your money. When we look at the processes in Abia State, it's so big that you don't even know contractors handling, projects, how they came about them. There's no public tendering, no bidding, no processes that people can actually follow through. Hold them accountable, when they publish on their website, government website, what they've spent for a particular project. And we go to places where they claim they spent the money on those projects, and we cannot find those projects. Recently we've been talking about the smart schools, where the government claims to have spent over 80 billion naira building smart schools. And we ask people, please, are you resident in your local government? Can you send us pictures of these smart schools? And some even place a bet of up to 15 million naira. Until today, nobody has been able to claim that bet. Abia State, where about 8 billion has been spent on smart schools. You tell us you spent about 50 billion in building hospitals and some other health facilities. And we're asking questions, where are these facilities except for retrofitted health centers in wards that, of course, we can verify the amount. When you look at it, you'll be able to assess how much projects take. You talk about ICT projects where you claim over 6 billion. You talk about regional parks and things like that. I mean, we just state that leisurely writes away money and claim to have performed. When we're on ground, now, but even the little one, people can see, the 20 CNG or electric buses, and we're celebrating all over the place. When our neighboring state, a state very close to us, the state, have about 100 of such buses. We have one bus station, and that state has about 5, and they're not making noise. That state has been able to create virgin roads, more than 300 kilometers. In Abia State, we don't even have up to 100 kilometers of virgin road. What we have are resources marked with yellow and paint, and we celebrate this. We have the most expensive road project in Africa, in Port Harcourt Road, where a kilometer of road is costing over 5 billion naira for a company that does the same kind of road in Rivers and Bayelsa State with massive terrain about 2 billion naira. So these are the issues we have as opposition. We want the government to come, to terms with reality of the day that they are enlightened. They want to know how much money you're putting in every project we are going to deliver. Because I keep telling people, leadership is not all about the infrastructure. There's human capital development you need to put money into. I keep asking people, apart from the civil servants that earn their salary, pensioners that earn, how about the rest of people that voted for this government? What is the government doing for them? Because we still use the road, we still use the buses, the same as people that don't have anything from government. What are the threats? Human development feel and sense and say, yes, we are part of this government. Nothing. They are bereft of ideas. So it's all about spending public money. Conveniently so, expecting not to be asked how these monies were spent. And that's why we're not, shocked when we find revelations of how, monies are written off, projects not carried out, money misplaced and things like that. It's no news about 1.8 billion not accounted for. Abia State is the only state, of course, you can have such a aberration. And that's why as an opposition, we're intentional. We have our facts, we have done our due diligence, and we know the people of this. Yes, someone can spend so much money on social media, get all the bloggers and all the influencers to do one or two for them. But on election day, the taste of the pudding is eating. The votes we were going to get that day will shock a lot of people that are so, cocky about their positions. And I tell you, we're going to make sure that state is well run. There will be a lot of transparency. People will be carried along. And that is the quality we are bringing forth. That's why we are running around. We believe it's going to give us quality leadership and service.
Talking about what your party would do differently, let's take a look at the local government areas under the current administration and compare with what it is supposed to be. My first question now is, you as a former executive chairman of a local government in the state, maybe you should just make some comparison to what it was when you were chairman and what is obtainable today. Then we also take a look at the future, what your party would do differently as far as the fourth tier of government is concerned. Talk about the local government system in Abia State.
Yes, of course, that's my terrain, and I'm so passionate about the local government system because I experienced it and I spoke against what's happening, and till today, I'm still, so very, very much interested in the survival of the local government system in Nigeria. But now, it's been a very terrible experience. But as you know, my party, the APC, to the federal government and the Attorney General, went to the Supreme Court and one is to ensure that there is local government autonomy, especially the financial one. Of course, for this, adjustments in dish out, laws that we enable the government take away the local government money without full benefit people with local government level. So at my time, it was a very terrible experience. The local chairman didn't have resources to perform. The The same still happens now, and it's one of the reasons why we believe that our present governor will not be able to deliver the local government system. You know, having in mind that before he became governor, a regular columnist with this day and the Sahara Report starts. And in some of his write-ups, he actually believed in local government autonomy. He preached it. He talked so eloquently about local government autonomy and the need for the locals. But it's shocking and unbelievable. 3 years down the line, the governor keeps taking away the local government. My local government, or Ohafia local government, on the average gets about 500 million every month. And that local government chairman there does not get more than 10 million in a month. And that is what we call the security vote, the interest and everything. That's what is given to him every month. Then the rest of the money is micromanaged by the government and chieftaincy affairs. And of course, through the House of Assembly law, probably moved into Golda, Gada, and all those contraptions, where the local government chairman now would only wait for the benevolence of the governor. If he writes, it goes out, Dear Excellency, renovate so and so hall, the governor will approve and pass it through local government and chieftaincy affair. Money will now be released to the local government account. The chairman will now have the ability or the capacity to do X, Y, Z for his people. It's an absolute aberration. And that is why we are crying that, look, state should with other APC governments. In Rivers State, local government chairmen are like, a lot of people show their images where you see them walking and their people are with them. They are delivering projects, road projects. In Enugu State, local government chairmen are delivering tarred road projects, dog grading. So we are asking the state governor to take his local government funds so that we'll be able to assess the local government chairman at the end of their tenure. Because if you want to assess a chairman that does not have access to his money, that will be injustice. Until the chairman have access to their money and put to money, that is the only time you can assess. So for now, our performance at the local level is so poor, abysmally poor. It's not enough for the governor to give some millions to renovate the local government headquarters. It doesn't end there. No, there are projects that will impact the people at the rural area, and that will ultimately stay rural urban migration tide. It's not so nice that everybody is centered or clustered in Aba trying to eke out a living. No, the people are very smart, intelligent, hardworking people that need enablement. And of course, their local government system should be such enablement to make them try and pay back to the system. And for me, that is the definition of democracy. Any governor that shortchanges any local government system is not a Democrat. And that is why, personally, I feel the governor has done abysmally low with the local government system, and he needs to get way out of the government house in 2027.
All right, Dr. Kiwe, we will stay with you on the local government thing. Your party, the APC, has been at the center since 2015 with the late President Muhammadu Buhari on seat. I think Buhari was even more vociferous about this. I think he was the one who caught.
That's right.
On the
even got executive orders.
And so your party, the APC, at the center, with more money coming to the state governments, which is what a lot of people, especially the opposition, whether it's in Abia or Air, points at. How come at the center, where there was an executive bill, it went to court, you know, you've been the government at the center, your party, have not been able to, make this come to light in the real sense of it. Is it that they're fair in state matters, but they are the ones who take the money supposed to come, a direct payment, simply put, to the local governments? How come the governors have access to it? Number two. Then number one, how come your party at the center, the APC, that midwife the autonomy in real sense, has not been able to from that higher level?
Yeah, well, thank you for recognizing the fact that my party is a party that believes in and illusion of powers. And right from the time of late President Mohamed Buhari, he made efforts, even signed an executive order, make sure that the locals get their money. Of course, the problem has always been a concern, and that's why at the beginning of my statement, I said, yes, we need to look at the constitution, amend that constitution to ensure that there is no joint account, no joint management. Because until you amend that constitutional it will be very difficult for the governors to let funds go because you were talking about a large amount of money. Now, what happens with constitutional amendments? It was done before and it was passed. When you come to the state house of assemblies, by these governments, this you need to third of the state houses of assemblies in Nigeria agree to that amendment before it carries. But when it comes down to the state, the governors kill it. Make sure that they look at the assemblies, those accent to that, those accept it. And that has been the challenge we have in this country because the governors still don't see reason why they should allow this money to the locals to manage for themselves.
No, you see, let me just give you a best of what I was trying to infer.
Okay.
The president today, President Bola Tinubu, as governor of Lagos State back then, created local council development authorities. And President Obasanjo seized some monies that should come to Lagos, if not all, at the time. I have a situation where, according to you, and I think it should be true, some states are allowing the local governments to run with it. And your own state government in Abia is not allowing it. Actually, I was, how come the president, Buhari is gone, Tinubu is on seat? How come he could do anything about that money? Because the money comes from the center through facts.
Yes, that's why he cannot ask, a loan. Constitutional matter. The money from FAC is paid to a joint account. And now, what is just the political will? The nature of the governor, the person of the governor determines whether the local government chairman will handle their money. You see, we have the same constitutional problem in all the countries, but governors that believe in the territory of government, what do? They hand over the monies to their people to work. But they still have that constitutional barrier. But our own governor does not believe in kind of democracy. He still wants to micromanage the local government chairman, and that is the problem here. So how come Governor Fubara is allowing his local government chairman handle that money? Once the money comes into the joint account, he releases it in full to them. He allows them to manage. So local government chairman can arbitrarily announce increments for non-day workers because they have the capacity to do so. They are looking at their records, they are looking at their resources, so they know what to do with it. So it is all about political will. No, Alex Oti does not have the political will to be able to allow these people to take their money. And I keep telling people, look, Abia State is done with local government funds. Because when we look at the state received about 1.6 trillion naira since he came into office in total, and you spend, about 240 billion in salaries and things like that. Where is the rest of the money? Do we have projects that shows us that 1.3 trillion has been spent in Abia State? Do we have projects showing those things? You are journalists. You should be able to move. Tell us where are the projects that will amount to a certain amount of money that we're looking for. That is why we're shouting as the opposition in the state, that something is wrong, something is not adding up. So until he has that political will to release the money back to the people that own the money, let them manage this money so I can hold, so I can walk straight to my local government and ask him, my mayor, what is happening? Why is my community not getting this and that and that? But at this point in time, it's difficult to ask us. I already know he does money. And that is the point we are raising here. So grassroots does not have the political will to allow the local governments thrive. A lot of them that trash the previous government, they are unable to say anything because they are shocked that we're having the problem in Abia State.
Okay, let's look at of government. This time around the judiciary. The courts in Abia have been under lock and key for 2 months plus now. No thanks to the ongoing misunderstanding, or should I say, industrial disharmony between Nigeria and, of course, the state government. I want to believe you've been following that development. Would like to get your views about the continuous strike by members of JUSN. What do you think of it?
Yeah, that's another very, very unfortunate and still has to do with granting an institution autonomy. What is the crux of the matter? This will say, look, we want financial autonomy. That is what we want. And payment of our standing leave allowances, because you are the one still responsible to this payment. Shooting back and forth. Even the government claimed that they've resolved it. Johnson is coming. No, these issues have been resolved. That you need to allow us to manage our funds so we can serve the people better. And you know, people say when you are the one paying, dishing out money, of course, there's a tendency for you to begin to bend rules, for you to begin to, seek favor and, undermine the efforts of even opposition in the state. So for Johnson to have been on strike, do you know the outcome now? The problem is that there are a lot of litigants, there are a lot of people in detention that need to have their case heard in all these local governments that are in the prison, just because the courts are working in the 17 local government. And that is very, very terrible. For 2 weeks, someone will be in detention, someone cannot get justice, and you have a leader in the state. It's a very simple thing. Grant them what they are requested, because it shouldn't affect you if you're the Messiah, if you're performing so well. You shouldn't even have a problem with some of the unions because you're working. Everybody's clapping for you. Everything is fine. So why not just release their funds? Why not just make the parents asking for and let the state move forward so that innocent don't suffer? That is the problem. And so my view is that the government does not have the ability to manage a lot of things. What we have seen from me, it's a misnomer. And so what we have in this say is a mediocre governance. You have someone like this also that are not Abians. These are people, critical thinkers, critics that people respect. When they come to raise an opinion saying, no, what people are saying is not the truth, it's not the fact of the matter on ground. Because if you come to Abia State, visit the 17 local governments, you understand that nothing has happened. Abia State is not Aba North, Aba South, not Umar South, when roads have been tarred and painted. No. The rural areas have been touched. The farmers have not been touched. The artisans have not been touched. There are a lot of people in desperate need for so many things. In my local government, I have pictures of dilapidated schools without, sitting arrangement, without boards, and all over. Go to several local governments, you see these things over the place. So why should we be fooling ourselves and be clapping for people that are so inefficient in the government?
Dr. Kiwe, the last time I went to Abia, from Umahia through Ubekwani, all the way down, I could, if possible, close my eyes and drive all to, even Unkporo. And I head into Arochukwu now. Don't you think that is a plus for this government of what it was before?
No, that's what I'm telling you. That apart from the few routes, that road, mind you, Cranborg, one of the companies, was a bailed loan of 50 billion that was guaranteed by our government, Access Bank. Especially that road is under construction through loan facilities. We have other loan facilities that is working in favor of government. So the critical question we are asking, because we know there are a lot of state governments, especially northern state governors, that don't have any loan issue on their neck. And these state governors are performing very, very well. In the north, where you don't even have enough internal generated revenues to add to whatever you're getting from FAC allocation, they are doing excellently well. You can see, like in Borno State, go there and see primary health centers, see primary schools, go there and see roads, even where have war, insurgency all over the place. The governor is performing very well. So I keep saying that until we compare, we will not be able to assess in truth what your governor has been able to do. And that is the work of the opposition, to bring these facts to bear so that Abians will be able to have indices to judge their government. You don't people because they've retrofitted few roads, or a government because they've retrofitted few roads. You should have indices. You should look at every other areas of governance and know if this man truly has done well as a governor. It's our duty to make sure that Abians are abreast of these issues and take best decision come 2027.
Okay, so in a sense, saying that just like we have the Nigeria Governors Forum, which is a body beyond political affiliation, some form of peer review amongst governors, so that what is happening in State A possibly should State B. If I heard you right, that is what you're saying.
Exactly, and that motivates people to work. Because at times you just live in fool's paradise. You think you're performing, but by the time you look through the books of your comrades, your you don't know. Oh, I need to brace up. I'm not doing well here. And that is what I believe as. Even those supporting the government, that is to do so that they get the best. I don't want them to have the short stick. No, I want them to get the best from the government that comes on board. When our own government comes on board, we'll still play this role of making sure that the people get the best as promised.
Okay, there been this debate as to who is doing what in Abia State. The road my colleague just talked about, your party is saying that contrary to the picture being painted by the state government, that the federal government is responsible for some of these projects. Can you confirm or deny that projects or other projects are being done or being funded by the federal government?
Yes, there are other projects that are being done by the federal government, and at times you have this partnership. In several states, at times they work on federal government roads and they send, their bills funds. So the normal thing government is to say, okay, this road I put to get an approval from the Federal Ministry of Works that I should do this road at the cost of XYZ. At the end of the day, the federal government is going to refund us our money because this road is very important to us, and the we don't want to begin to wait for federal government political, or policy issues that might affect the urgent execution of this road. So I'm going to use our money, Abia's money. I'm going to construct this road, but we have an agreement, reaching agreement that this road will be reimbursed. Now, the federal government is the one involved in this Umuahia Ikot-Ekpene road. There's a partnership there. The bridge they celebrated recently, the Omenuko Bridge, that federal government project road, it was a certain amount. The governor viewed it, he has own amount attached to it, but agreement for reform, because it is not just the road, there's the bridge, there's a road, there's a federal government road that ends up even into Ohakia. You understand? So I always believe that leaders should tell the truth. There are several other projects like that with the federal government. So when you come to claim glory for a project that you'll be refunded for, or is a partnership, and you come and believe, you make people believe that you're the one that performed it or did that project. No, we'll tell you that that is not the truth. We have information, we have, and this is a project, or this is a project that has to be reimbursed at the end of the day.
Dr. Ukiwe, we had Ferdinand Ekoma last week, Friday, or was it 2 weeks ago? I say the statement will not be getting equal as contrary to the just mentioned.
That came straight from Mr. President.
Are there documents to prove what he said? There should be documents. Because it has come to the point where we have documents. You should show documents, you understand? Because we know some of these things. The former House of Rep members attracted the location of that road, that where you have the Omenuko Bridge. Honorable Nkule, was it through the state government then? That the Ministry of Works are that road. So some of these facts are, we know these are historical facts. We know about these things. So if it's that federal government has zero involvement in all those, they should bring facts and also provide facts that will show that there is an arrangement.
Yes, but we used to hear that pay is not approved. Could have been attracted, but
approval is not payment.
So approval is not payment. Thank you very much. It's possible that Anoko contracted it. The government had said yes at the time, but a penny was not put on it. Talking historically now, quoting you as well, is it not no government did anything, and just like some things that yes, we are aware, but money has not been put on them, so they have not taken up. Supposing in next money is being put in or not put, and the governor at the time, does something. Are we going to rely on the historical perspective and say it's government, federal government?
The fact of the matter is that when a project is subject, it has been approved, that project is there. Whenever the money is released, that should not disappear. It go back to the state. I remember in Rivers State, there was a time when Amechi was the governor. He had done a lot of projects, but he left government. Federal government was able to pay back about 79 billion. And who benefited from that payment? It was the government of Wike. That is how government works. So it must not be one to ever thing that will be paid back to your government. So the government is not telling Abians the truth. There's a repayment arrangement. Probably get that money. Probably an payment will get that money by the time it's making repayment. That's the way government works. It's been budgeted. There's an approval for it. Now it will certainly be released at the point in time in the life of Abia State.
Right, let's look for a bus stop now. Dr. Kora Fokiwe. Just before you go, this program, Aggressives, is powered by Abia APC. Your last words in few seconds before we roll off.
Well, I want to thank India for leaving it already mass, with APC. In the coming days, we're going to show them more reason why they should not lose faith with APC. The center has done a lot. We have a lot of the things we needed to have received, from the state. Having received so much from the center, we are promising them in 2021, the story will change, narrative will change, and India will be happier for it to the glory of God. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you for joining us today. Abia Progressives returns next Monday at 10 o'clock. I am Bonnie.
My name is Ben Nwatu. Have yourself a great day.
We're the station that beats all competition. As soon as we hear any competition.
Yes, so this is Jolly Johnny on the streets. How well do you know Maggi chicken flavor? Oh yeah, spell celery.
Celery. Celery.
Brought on to salary. Okay, spell turmeric.
TURMERIC.
Yes, so
Turmeric.
Correct. 1 carton of Maggi chicken flavor for you. Maggi chicken flavor with onions, celery, and turmeric. My game changer.
Is it okay to make fun of our tap? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your toes strong, so cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. No cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste, not to do younger. Brush your teeth with it and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate, not to do with your smile, brush your teeth with it and fresh breath. You use a Colgate paste, not to do younger with your brush your teeth with it and fresh breath. Colgate.
Something inside my Nescafe Original 3-in-1 pack. A unique code inside.
Yes, so every pack of Nescafe Original 3-in-1 now comes with a code inside in the Nescafe Next Level promo. Just enter 7022 hash and could win 500,000 naira cash, business tools, and training. Up to 1 naira in prizes to be won. Promo on June 30th, 2026. T's and C's apply. Nescafe. Make your world.
Hey,
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky? Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it.
When it comes to good music, when you hear